Good morning, dear friends. Now we started with drugs acting on cardiovascular system. Already we completed 3 chapters. Now today we start with the last chapter under drugs acting on cardiovascular system, that is antihypertensive agent. This is the 4th chapter, last chapter under CVS, that is antihypertensive agents. As the name itself indicating that anti means against, those drugs used in treatment of hypertension, that is called as antihypertensive agent. You know that normal blood pressure of an adult person, that is 80-120 mm of mercury. This is the normal blood pressure of an adult person, that is 80-120 mm of mercury. 80, that is diastolic blood pressure, and 120 mm of mercury, that is systolic blood pressure. This is the normal blood pressure. But whenever there is a abnormally elevation in blood pressure occurs, that is diastolic blood pressure if 95 mm of mercury or more, and systolic blood pressure is of 120 mm of 150 mm of mercury or more, then the condition is called as hypertension. What is hypertension? Hypertension, that is nothing but there is a abnormally elevation in blood pressure, abnormally rise in blood pressure. This is the normal blood pressure. But when there is a diastolic blood pressure is of 95 mm of mercury or more, and systolic blood pressure is 150 mm of mercury or more, then the condition is called as hypertension. That is abnormally rise in blood pressure. That condition is called as hypertension. There are 2 types of hypertension. One that is to be called as primary or essential hypertension. First one, that is primary or essential hypertension, and second one, that is to be called as secondary hypertension. Primary or essential hypertension, where there is a actual cause of hypertension is going to be unknown. Whenever there is a actual cause of hypertension is going to be unknown, then the type of hypertension that is called as primary or essential hypertension. And second type, that is secondary hypertension, where the cause of hypertension may be due to the certain abnormal condition. Suppose, for example, if there is a kidney failure condition occurs, may lead to produces hypertension in patient. That is endocrinological factor. Then pheochromocytoma. These type of condition in patient may lead to produces hypertension. That is secondary condition. Maybe because of kidney failure condition, endocrinological factor, maybe pheochromocytoma. These type of condition may lead to produces what? May lead to causes rising blood pressure, and that leads to produces hypertension. For example, suppose if you consider kidney failure condition, then kidney secrete renin. This renin converted into angiotensin 1. This angiotensin 1 in presence of enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme, it converted into angiotensin 2, and once there is a formation of angiotensin 2 occurs, it causes the release of aldosterone. This aldosterone responsible for reabsorption of sodium in body. It causes reabsorption of sodium in body, and whenever there is a reabsorption of sodium occurs in body, it leads to produces hypertension condition. Because deposition of sodium takes place, that condition that is to be called as edema. Edema, that is nothing but retention of sodium. So whenever there is aldosterone formation occurs, it increases reabsorption of sodium in body, and when accumulation of sodium occurs, it leads to produces edema, and because of accumulation of sodium, it causes hypertension. So this is because of what? Because of the endocrinological factor, it leads to process hypertension. This is how another factor, that is secondary condition, responsible to process hypertension in patient because of kidney failure condition. Similarly, pheochromocytoma condition. Pheochromocytoma, that is nothing but there is a increased secretion of noradrenaline and adrenaline take place. That is the tumor of adrenal medulla. Pheochromocytoma, that is nothing but tumor of adrenal medulla that causes more release of noradrenaline and adrenaline. And when there is more release of noradrenaline and adrenaline take place, it leads to process hypertension because of vasoconstriction condition. It causes vasoconstriction, and due to vasoconstriction effect, there is a rise in blood pressure that is leads to process hypertension. So this is another cause responsible to process hypertension, that is pheochromocytoma, that is tumor of adrenal medulla where there is a more release of noradrenaline and adrenaline that leads to process vasoconstriction effect on peripheral blood vessel, and due to vasoconstriction effect there is a rise in blood pressure. So these are the various type of hypertension, that is primary or essential hypertension where the cause is going to be unknown, and second one, that is secondary hypertension, may be due to the certain abnormal condition in patient. की patient ला एखादी काही abnormal condition होते, kidney failure होते किंवा pheochromocytoma होते किंवा endocrinological factor that leads to process hypertension in patient. And in order to treat this hypertension condition, whatever the drugs are used, that drug that is called as antihypertensive agent, that is those drugs used in abnormal elevation in blood pressure or those drugs used in hypertension condition are called as antihypertensive patient. And these antihypertensive agents are act by reducing total peripheral resistance. These drugs reduces total peripheral resistance in body and thereby used as an antihypertensive agent. If hypertensive patients are not treated, may process shorter expectancy of life. एखाद्या पेशंटला समजा हायपरटेन्शन कायमस्वरूपी असेल आणि जर ट्रीटमेंट नाही दिली गेली, there may be chances of shorter expectancy of life, and therefore these antihypertensive drugs are used. Antihypertensive are those drugs used in treatment of hypertension, that is called as antihypertensive agent, or those drugs reduces abnormally elevation of blood pressure to normal condition, that condition that is called as antihypertensive agent. Now this classification of antihypertensive agent is most important one as far as your sessional and annual exam will be concerned. So let us see classification of antihypertensive agent. That first type, that these agents are act or classified according to mechanism of action. So according to mechanism of action, first type, that is those drugs acting centrally, that is by acting on central nervous system reduces abnormally elevation of blood pressure to normal, that is used as antihypertensive agent. So those acting centrally, example alpha methyl dopamine, and another example that is clonidine. Second type, that is ganglionic blocking agent. These agents act by blocking ganglion. So ganglionic blocking agents, example hexamethonium and mecamylamine. Third type, that is adrenergic neuron blocker, that these agents block adrenergic neuron receptor and thereby adrenergic neuron blockers and used as antihypertensive, example guanethidine. Then fourth type, that is called as catecholamine depleters. Already we completed catecholamine depleters, that is reserpine, that is used as antihypertensive and antipsychotic agent by depleting level of catecholamines. Then next type, that is adrenergic receptor blocker. Here there are two types. One that is alpha blockers and second one that is to be called as beta blockers. You know that alpha and beta blockers are used as antihypertensive agent. So alpha blockers example are argot alkaloids like argotamine, argotoxin. Then another example tolazoline and prazosin. These are the alpha blocking agent. Then beta blockers, example propranolol, timolol, sotalol. All these drugs are belonging to beta blocking activity. By blocking beta receptor, these drugs are used as antihypertensive agent. Then next type, that is renin-angiotensin blockers, or also called as those agents act by blocking renin-angiotensin system. So example captopril enalapril, ceralasin, lisinopril. Even in today's practice, all these drugs are used in market as antihypertensive agent. So when angiotensin blockers or angiotensin inhibitors, example captopril, enalapril, ceralasin and lisinopril. Then another type, that is oral diuretic agent, particularly thiazide diuretic like chlorothiazide, hydrochlorothiazide. These drugs are also used as antihypertensive agent. Then vasodilators are also used as antihypertensive agent. Example hydralgin and sodium nitroglyceride. This is another example of vasodilators. Then next type, that is MAO inhibitors, that is monoamine oxidase inhibitors, are also used as antihypertensive agent. Example isocarboxyl, nialamide and paraxylene. And last type, that is baroreceptor blockers, example veratrum alkaloids. So this is the full classification of antihypertensive agent. This is most important in most of the question paper. They will be repeated that classify antihypertensive agent with example for 3.5 marks or for 4 marks, isn't it? So very easy to remember that these antihypertensive agents are those agents used in treatment of hypertension, or those drugs reduces abnormally elevated blood pressure to normal. You know that abnormal elevation, that when diastolic blood pressure is of 95 mm of mercury or more and systolic blood pressure is of 150 mm of mercury or more, then the condition that is abnormal elevation, that is hypertension. So those drugs used in treatment of hypertension, or those drugs reduces abnormally elevation of blood pressure to normal, are called as antihypertensive agent. So these agents classified into 10 types according to mechanism of action. Here most important one, that is classification is most important. Then mechanism of action of reserpine. Then regarding captopril, enalapril, that is angiotensin blockers. So let us see classification. First type, that those drugs acting by centrally, that is on central nervous system. Example alpha methyl dopa and clonidine. Second type, that is ganglionic blocking agents, already completed under autonomic nervous system, that hexamethonium, mecamylamine. Then third type, adrenergic neuron blocker, guanethidine. Then next type, catecholamine depleters, by depleting level of catecholamines, that is adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine level decreases and thereby used as antihypertensive and antipsychotic agent. Example reserpine. Then adrenergic receptor blockers, that is alpha blockers and beta blockers. Alpha blockers, ergot alkaloids like ergotamine, ergotoxin. Another example of alpha blocker, that is tolazoline, prazosin. Then beta blockers are also used as antihypertensive agent, propranolol, timolol, sotalol. Then renin-angiotensin blocker system, already we completed that kidney secrete renin to angiotensin 1 to 2. So inhibiting conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Example captopril, enalapril, ceralasin and lisinopril. Then oral diuretic agent, that is thiazide, chlorothiazide, hydrochlorothiazide. Then vasodilators are also used, that is hydralgin, sodium nitroglyceride. Then MAO inhibitor drugs like isocarboxyl, nialamide and paraxylene. And last type, that is baroreceptor blocking agent, that is veratrum alkaloids. So this is full classification of antihypertensive agent. So here most important one, that is what is hypertension, what are antihypertensive agent, classified with example. Now let us see first drug, that is alpha methyl dopa. That is, you understand that alpha methyl dopa, that is by acting on central nervous system. This alpha methyl dopa act by the mechanism that because of the structural similarity of dopa and alpha methyl dopa. You know that dopa biosynthesized from phenylalanine. This phenylalanine, that is amino acid, converted into tyrosine. Tyrosine by enzymatic action converted into dopa. Dopa in presence of enzyme dopa decarboxylase, it converted into dopamine. dopamine, then converted noradrenaline and adrenaline. This is how that there is a biosynthesis of noradrenaline and adrenaline takes place. And once there is a release of noradrenaline, adrenaline occurs, it causes vasoconstriction effect on peripheral blood vessel. And due to vasoconstriction effect on peripheral blood vessel, there is a rise in blood pressure. But under such a condition, if physician prescribe alpha methyl dopa tablet, this alpha methyl dopa structurally similar to dopa, and by competitive antagonism mechanism, this alpha methyl dopa block the action of dopa decarboxylase enzyme. Means because of structural similarity, this dopa decarboxylase enzyme instead of combining with dopa, combine with alpha methyl dopa because of structural similarity, and due to this, it inhibiting conversion of dopa to dopamine. And when dopamine formation cannot be occurred, there is no release of noradrenaline and adrenaline. Thereby produces vasodilation effect on peripheral blood vessel and reduces abnormally elevated blood pressure to normal. Means this is the mechanism of action of alpha methyl dopa. This is also important one that sometimes they will ask, explain mechanism of action of alpha methyl dopa as an antihypertensive agent. So it is act by the mechanism that because of structural similarity of alpha methyl dopa and dopa, it blocks the action of dopa decarboxylase enzyme by competitive antagonism mechanism and thereby inhibiting conversion of dopa to dopamine. How there is a biosynthesis of noradrenaline and adrenaline occurs? That is from phenylalanine. Phenylalanine converted to tyrosine, tyrosine converted to dopa. This dopa in presence of dopa decarboxylase enzyme converted to dopamine, and then there is the release of noradrenaline and adrenaline occurs. That leads to process vasoconstriction and there is a rise in blood pressure. This is how that there is a rise in blood pressure occurs. But under such a condition, when alpha methyl dopa given, because of structural similarity of dopa and alpha methyl dopa, this dopa decarboxylase enzyme, there is a wrong combination take place and it combines with alpha methyl dopa, thereby inhibiting action of dopa decarboxylase enzyme, inhibiting conversion of dopa to dopamine and thereby used as antihypertensive agent. Similarly, now this alpha methyl dopa is used in the dose of 250 to 500 milligram. Sometimes they will ask, mention dose, route of administration and one important use of alpha methyl dopa. So alpha methyl dopa tablets used in the dose of 250 to 500 milligram by oral route of administration and act by this mechanism, that is inhibiting this conversion of dopa to dopamine, inhibiting action of dopa decarboxylase enzyme because of structural similarity of alpha methyl dopa and dopa. Similarly, clonidine. This clonidine, it is used as antihypertensive agent by blocking the release of noradrenaline and adrenaline. Whatever the naturally applicable, that release of noradrenaline and adrenaline takes place in sympathetic nervous system. This clonidine when given, it directly blocks release of noradrenaline and adrenaline, thereby no vasoconstriction and thereby leads to process lowering of blood pressure. Clonidine generally used in the dose of 0.1 milligram by oral route of administration. Isn't it? Then already we completed regarding ganglionic blocking agent, adrenergic receptor blockers, that is guanethylene. Then regarding catecholamine depleters, reserpine. Reserpine that is obtained from raw alkaloids used as antihypertensive and antipsychotic agent. Under both chapters we completed that reserpine by depleting level of catecholamines, by decreasing level of noradrenaline, adrenaline, dopamine, it is used as antihypertensive agent. Generally used in the dose of 1 milligram by oral route of administration. Sometimes they will be asked, mention dose, route of administration and one important use of reserpine. So reserpine used in the dose of 1 milligram, trade name that is Adalfin tablet. Adalfin tablet available in market by oral route of administration and is used as antihypertensive and antipsychotic agent. By which mechanism? So by the mechanism that inhibiting or by depleting the level of catecholamines. It causes decreasing level of adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine and thereby used as antihypertensive agent. Similarly, already completed regarding alpha blockers and beta blockers along with uses in under autonomic nervous system, that alpha blockers by producing vasodilation effect on peripheral blood vessel used as antihypertensive. Similarly, beta blockers, propranolol, timolol, sotalol, these are the beta blocking agents. Even in today's practice, these drugs are used, atenolol, timolol. तुम्ही जर नाव ऐकलं असेल अटेन tablets available in market, G-block tablet available in market, it contain atenolol, so that is used as antihypertensive agent. Okay. Then regarding renin-angiotensin blockers, already we completed that renin, there is a kidney secret renin converted to angiotensin 1, then it converted to angiotensin 2, and then there is a release of aldosterone. This aldosterone causes reabsorption of sodium, and that leads to process hypertension. Under such a condition, when the drugs like renin-angiotensin blockers like captopril, enalapril, serelaxin or lisinopril given, it blocks conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. It blocks the action of angiotensin converting enzyme, and thereby there is no formation of aldosterone, and that leads to process antihypertensive action. When aldosterone formation not occur, there is no reabsorption of sodium, and thereby used as antihypertensive agent. Generally, these drugs are used in the dose of 10 to 20 milligram by oral route of administration. Even in today's practice, these drugs are available in market. So, lisinopril, serelaxin, enalapril, all these drugs, even in today's practice, used. So, those patients having kidney failure problem and then hypertension, in such a patient, these renin-angiotensin blocker drugs are effective by blocking conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, that is inhibiting action of angiotensin converting enzyme, and thereby used to produce vasodilation effect and use as an antihypertensive agent. So in the dose of 10 to 20 milligram. Then oral diuretic agent, that by reducing total venous pressure used as antihypertensive agent, thiazide, diuretic like chlorothiazide, hydrochlorothiazide. In detail we will see under diuretic chapter. Then regarding vasodilator, as the name itself indicating that these are the vasodilator drugs, causes dilation of blood vessels and thereby causes lowering of blood pressure. Particularly hydralazine used in the dose of 100 to 200 milligram by oral route of administration, used as antihypertensive agent. Then MAO inhibitors already completed, that by inhibiting action of MAO enzyme, it causes lowering of blood pressure, that is isocarboxyl, nialamide and parabenazine. So this is regarding full classification of antihypertensive agent. So here most important one, that definition and classification of antihypertensive agent. Then regarding dose, mechanism of alpha methyl dopa, reserpine. Then regarding renin-angiotensin blockers, hydralazine dose, that is 100 to 200 milligram by oral route of administration, and it is used as potent vasodilator drug, and because of vasodilator drug effect, it is used as antihypertensive agent. So this is regarding antihypertensive agents. Now one more short point under this chapter, under cardiovascular system, that is hypolipidemic agents. This is regarding antihypertensive. And one more question, that hypolipidemic agents, or hyperlipidemic condition, or it is also called as atherosclerosis. Hyperlipidemic, as the name itself indicating, that when there is a lipid concentration or cholesterol concentration increases in blood, then it leads to called as hyperlipidemic condition. आपण म्हणतो जे पर्सन मोस्ट फॅटी असतात, जे फॅटी पर्सन असतात, ओबेस पर्सन असतात, यांच्यामध्ये काय असणार आहे, कोलेस्ट्रॉलचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन किंवा लिपिडचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ब्लड मध्ये काय असेल, मोर दॅन नॉर्मल, अँड सच अ पेशंट दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज हायपरलिपिडेमिक कंडिशन, or hyperlipidemic also called as atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis or hyperlipidemic condition, it is nothing but there is a increase in level of lipid or cholesterol level in blood. So that leads to process, that is may leads to process chances of coronary thrombosis, की अशा पेशंटला मायोकार्डियल इन्फ्रॅक्शन होऊ शकतं, हार्ट अटॅक येऊ शकतो जर कोलेस्ट्रॉलचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन किंवा ट्रायग्लिसराइड लेवल्स इन्क्रीज झाले, मोर दॅन नॉर्मल असेल, there is a chances of coronary thrombosis, there may be chances of myocardial infarction occurs in patient, cardiac attack may occurs in patient because of high cholesterol level or because of increased lipid level than normal, means because of deposition of fatty masses, it leads to process atherosclerosis condition or hyperlipidemic condition. And in order to treat this hyperlipidemic condition, whatever the drugs are used, that is called as hypolipidemic agent. As the name itself indicating that hypo means decreases. Those drugs decreases lipid or cholesterol concentration or plasma cholesterol concentration in lowering condition. That agent that is called as hypolipidemic agent. That is used in treatment of hyperlipidemic condition, or those drugs used in treatment of atherosclerosis condition are called as hypolipidemic agent. So these hypolipidemic agents classified into different types. In that first type, that those agents act by inhibiting biosynthesis of cholesterol. It directly inhibiting biosynthesis of cholesterol in body. Example: atorvastatin, simvastatin, duostatin. Even in today's practice, these drugs, atorvastatin, simvastatin, these drugs are used in market. ज्या पेशंटचं कोलेस्ट्रॉलचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन फॅटी मासेस आहेत किंवा मोस्ट ओबेस पीपल आहेत, अशा पीपल्स मध्ये these drugs are given to the patient to produces hypolipidemic effect. So these agents act by the mechanism that is by inhibiting biosynthesis of cholesterol. So example are atorvastatin, simvastatin, duostatin. Another type that those agents inhibiting fibric acid synthesis. Fibric acid inhibitors. Example clofebrate, that is inhibiting fibric acid synthesis. Then third type that bile acid binding resins. Bile acid binding resins. Example alpha cytosterol. This alpha cytosterol that is used as bile acid binding resin. So these are the drugs used in treatment of hyperlipidemic condition or atherosclerosis. Sometimes they will ask what is atherosclerosis, classify the drug used in atherosclerosis. Or what is hyperlipidemic condition, classify or name the drug used in hyperlipidemic. Or instead of this, what are hypolipidemic agent, classify with example. So that those agents used in treatment of high cholesterol concentration or increased lipid level, or what is atherosclerosis, that is nothing but there is a deposition of fatty masses. So that leads to process chances of coronary thrombosis, there may be myocardial infarction, there may be chances of heart attack. That condition that is called as hyperlipidemic condition or also called as atherosclerosis condition. And therefore those drugs used in treatment of hyperlipidemic condition or atherosclerosis are called as hypolipidemic agent. So these hypolipidemic agents classified according to mechanism of action. That some agents act by inhibiting biosynthesis of cholesterol, that is atorvastatin, simvastatin. Then fibric acid inhibitors like clofebrate. Then bile acid binding agent, that is alpha cytosterol. So these drugs, even another example miscellaneous drug like nicotinic acid and probucol. These drugs are used in treatment of atherosclerosis or hyperlipidemic condition, or also called as hypolipidemic agent. So this is the last point under cardiovascular system. So today we are going to finish full chapter, full section, that is drug acting on cardiovascular system. So near about 4 chapters are going to be included. त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्हाला कमीत कमी 15 मार्काला क्वेश्चन्स विचारले जाऊ शकतात एन्युअल एक्झाम मध्ये. जे इम्पॉर्टंट आहेत तुम्हाला सगळे पॉइंट्स हायलाइट केलेले आहेत. So here we finish this chapter, that is cardiovascular system. Now next time we see the next section, maybe of a chemotherapy or diuretic chapter. Now आजपासून आपण इवन ह्या पुढच्या आठवड्यामध्ये प्रॅक्टिकल सुद्धा आपण चालू केलेले आहेत, कारण ऑनलाईनच सिस्टम होईल. अजून कोविडची परिस्थिती नियंत्रणात नसल्यामुळे आपल्या सगळ्या पूर्ण महाराष्ट्रामध्ये वाढतच चाललंय प्रमाण. त्याच्यामुळे काय होणार आहे की लेक्चर्स इवन प्रॅक्टिकल सुद्धा तुमचे ऑनलाईन होणार आहे. तर प्रॉबेबली आपण 3 ते 4 प्रॅक्टिकल्स जे काही पुढच्या 15-20 दिवसात जे होतील ते झाल्यानंतर त्याच्यावरती फर्स्ट सेशनल प्रॅक्टिकल एक्झाम ऑनलाईन होईल. तर आता पुढच्या आठवड्यामध्ये प्रॅक्टिकल सुद्धा चालू होतील. जसे लॅब मॅन्युअल अवेलेबल होतील इन्स्टिट्यूटला तुम्हाला नोटिफाय करण्यात येईल, आणि त्यानंतर नोटीस आल्यानंतर तुम्हाला लॅब मॅन्युअल कलेक्ट करायचे आणि ते क्वेश्चन आन्सर लिहून कंप्लीट ठेवायचे. सो थँक्यू.